And we are live. Assalamu alaikum, and hello and good day. This is Mainul going live from my business page. I'm the face behind Mainul Digital. As you have been following me, I've been interviewing various members from our business community. So this is another episode of Road to Goals, and we've got a new guest all the way from Toronto, Brother Aziz. Before I introduce him, please let me give some brief information about myself if this is the first time you're encountering me. So I'm Mainul. I was born and raised in Bangladesh, where I'm presently located. I have also studied in Germany and Australia. I'm a ground-based in Australia as well. But at the same time, I'm a digital business. I'm a biologist by profession, but I'm a digital business owner and mentor. I help people learn how to leverage the social media. Without talking much further, I'd now like to hand over the mic to my co-host, Brother Amin, all the way from Sydney. He has been hosting the show with me for the past few weeks. So, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Amin. Please take over.
Walaikum salam, Brother Michael, and welcome, Brother Raza, as well. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, we can get some insights from you as a digital business owner. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Amin Dole. Originally from Sri Lanka, but I live in Australia right now with my family. Been here for last 10 years. Accountants by profession, both myself and my wife, but we are also running the digital business on the side. So without further ado, the focus is on our special guest today, Brother Raza, all the way from Ontario, Toronto. So Raza, tell us who's Brother Raza. Tell us about yourself.
Well, assalamu alaikum, guys. Hope all is well at your end. As you guys have done the intro, I'm actually from Toronto here. Originally, my parents are from Pakistan. I was born in the Middle East. I was born in Kuwait, and we actually migrated to Canada. I think it was about 31 years ago. I was 14 at the time. I'm 45 now, and professionally, I've had a few careers. After graduating from college, what did I do? I started working at a payroll and HR firm. So that was my corporate career of about 12, 13 years. And then I thought I knew everything. So I decided to become an entrepreneur. And that's when I fell flat on my face, and through trials and tribulations, eventually had an opportunity to establish a professional speaking career, which led me to travel around the world, especially Europe, Africa, and North America. And these days I'm an author. I'm a sales strategist, and of course, just like you guys, operate an online business as well.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a pretty comprehensive and comprehensive resume. You've done a lot of stuff, and then so that drives me to be very curious. After doing all this stuff and kind of what's driving you to what drove you to join our global community? What's your why? What drove you to starting this business?
I've always I think I recently put a post on my Facebook profile, on my personal profile, and the quote said that I took the road less traveled, and that has made all the difference. And I think this whole journey really started back in 2005, I believe, when a buddy of mine gave me a book, and he says, "Raza, you look like the kind of guy who should read this book." And I kid you not, this was probably the first ever book that I read outside of my college stuff, and a first business book. And this book really messed with my head, and I showed me a world outside that I never knew, professionally speaking. I just knew that you had to go to school, get a good job, and then wait till you retire, and then that's it. This book showed me a new way. And by the way, this book was titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
And that put me on a journey of time and financial freedom. And I don't just say financial freedom. I don't just say time freedom. I talk about a combination of those two. And it was something that I felt at that time lacked in my education. I could not even comprehend the whole idea of working efficiently with my time. Instead of getting paid for time, getting paid for value, right? Like that I would provide outside. Like these concepts got introduced to me, passive income through real estate and stock markets and options. And all of a sudden, I was thrown in a world that was completely alien for me. And that took the time in learning. And, that's what I said after my corporate career. When I jumped into the entrepreneurial world, my world was shattered because I was not ready for the entrepreneurial world, because the entrepreneur has to think differently than an employee. And that was a harsh reality for me. And, when you talk about what's driving me, just like you guys, just like, the entire population of this world, adult population, I too have a family. My wife, my daughter. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and not only providing for our future and for my little girl's future and giving her a bit of a head start, but also I got parents. Like I'm part of that generation where not only I have to look after myself and my family, but also my future. And then in the middle, like, of course, the parents are there as well. My parents are at an age right now that, they're by the way, they're divorced, so they live in two separate households, and that means almost running two separate households, including my own. That's the third one. And then doing the investments and all that. So it requires me to be a lot bigger. Now, there's only so much time I have to get paid at a job, and there's only so much I can do. So having systems in place, and this is the reason why ultimately everything that I've done has been led to that part. And then in 2020, when the whole travel ban took place and the whole pandemic thing happened, my speaking career came to a halt. And there was no conferences, there was no seminars and all of that stuff. So I had to reinvent myself. And while I was looking to acquire some businesses, looking at accounting firms, car wash stations, laundromats, this business showed up as well and gave me an insight. It's like putting online systems in place so that I do not have to do the hard work. The system does the work for me. And that's what got me on this road and brought me to this model.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think you highlighted one thing. I think we come from that generation and also from that cultural kind of background where we look after not only our family, we feel responsible for looking after our parents as well. I think Brother Mainul also has the same thing. I have the same thing, and Brother Raza, you have the same thing. What's your view, Brother Mainul?
Yes, obviously. I mean, it really, excites me with the career that Brother Raza has, all those vast experience in different sectors, especially public speaking, which I can see obviously as if we are interviewing him as well, and various entrepreneur journeys. Obviously, he comes with various diversity. I mean, you and me, we are sort of professionals. So before, I also tell us a bit about our why. So for us for me, mostly it is about a side hustle. So I don't have any business experience. I have been mostly in academia in different parts of the world, but so for us it was more or less supplementing income. One thing I agree with Brother Raza, that it is very important that while there are many things in the online space, you need to find a system. I think that's what makes this particular business community stand out, that regardless of whatever we are doing, whatever our main priorities or commitments are, you could start this as a side hustle, while you just don't have to monitor this. You don't need to all the tech-savvy thing and all how everything functions. So, Brother Raza, getting back to, I just made a few comments on that. I would like to hear more from you in this regard. That while I guess you are more aware of the online space, maybe I don't know, you could educate us. So, why do you think that this particular model among all other online model it stands out, and why this is going so fast in the current moment?
Yeah, In my previous experience as a professional speaker, I had the opportunity to travel and share stages with many other successful people who had been there before me, and I've had the opportunity to meet tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And the one thing that I've noticed is that, although we come from different countries and different religions and races and all of that stuff, ultimately we're all the same people. And that is, we're really just trying to work hard, provide for our families, and make things happen for ourselves, right? Like, and the people around us. And a lot of people are looking to better themselves financially. The inflation, the world is getting expensive. Let's be straight here. And, just like you mentioned, having a side hustle, plan B, is always a great opportunity. And there are tons of people around the world looking for those kind of mediums. Now, most people, when I fell into the entrepreneurial world, I did not have the skill set needed to be able to function here. So most people are in that boat. So when people are introduced to the idea of running an online business, here's what happens. They start building every single thing. They have to do the research. They have to pick the niche. They have to they have to design their website. They have to write the emails. They have to design the product. They have to design the webinar, all of that stuff. And all of these skills are something that people don't necessarily have right off the bat. So so it's like, think of it this way. Let's just say you got to drive from one destination to the other. And instead of just hopping into a car and driving it, imagine if you start building a car. Imagine starting putting the tire and putting the engine together and all of that stuff and assembling the door. It's going to take you forever to be able to do that. You have to learn all those pieces. Well, when the whole idea of online business came about in front of me, just end of or mid 2020, I did not want to go down that route. I did not want to start building everything from scratch. And that's why this business model made sense for me, because a lot of the heavy lifting was done for me so that I could get to the fun part. I call it the fun part, this part right here. What we're doing, right? Like, building the brand and leveraging, YouTube and Facebook and all of that social media stuff that you talked about earlier to be able to get my message out. Putting systems in place and having the rest of the machine do the work for me. And that's what I was looking for, and that's what I found here.
Awesome. I think you made a really good point, and because with the technological advancements, things have become really, really easy. For example, us running this live session, just click a few buttons. I mean, 5 years, 6 years ago, it would have been
I think it's there
easier.
Yeah.
Did we lose you, Brother Mayan?
No. I don't know whether I lose you or lost you or you guys lost me. There was a bit technical glitch, but please proceed. Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. So you did make a pertinent point, but I mean, for someone who's listening to you, I think it's very apparent you're a really, really eloquent speaker, right? So your history shows the way you talk. But for most people who come from the migrant background and things like that, English is not their first language, and people there's something that people are scared at times, especially those ladies who stay at home mothers who've never done a job, they've not done any businesses, and also the other people from different backgrounds. For those people, would you think, I mean, having to present yourself in front of others, would that be a deterrent for all those? I mean, if they are really scared and timid and shy, would that be a deterrent to run a business like this? What's your view on that?
That's a great question. I mean, you know what? So the simple answer is no, not really, because I'll tell you something. When I was studying this business, when I was looking at it and I was evaluating it, I came across so many people, everyday people with all kinds of professions, whether they were accountants, whether they were engineers, whether they were working nurses, whether they had never done a business before, people who spoke foreign languages and everything like that. And when I was doing my research, and I'm like, they're not professional speakers like me, or they're not, authors. They're not like, there was all of a sudden I'm like, hang on a second. I'm like, how are all these people doing this business, right? How are they learning the skills and everything like that? And that's when as I went down my research, I realized that, everything where people get stuck most of the time trying to build a side hustle is done for them. And if this is like, the whole circle, let me just kind of come to the camera. If this is like the whole circle that, requires you to all the skills, all the tools that you need to build a business, well, most of it is done. And then there's this little pie that people really have to focus on. And that's where we have online step-by-step video training that people can just simply play it and then just apply it. Play the video and apply it. Play the video and apply it. And I'm like, could it be that simple? And it was. And if you get, I never use the word easy for this business. I don't believe it's easy, but I do believe it's very simple. And if there is a simpler business model I think this is based on my research, based on what I was looking for. I don't think there is a simpler business model than this right here. It combines a lot of pieces, that I would, check mark off to see whether or not I want to get into the business. I think this business model really check mark that off. So to answer your question, no, there are way too many people in here who are succeeding without any prior experience and with all kind of professional backgrounds.
Yeah, Brother Michael and I have been interviewing different people from different backgrounds. We had a doctor, then there was a pilot, then there was like biologists, teachers, and you name it. We have everyone from different walks of life, and then everyone. Most of them have never done a business, so we kind of start at a kind of a common same platform. We don't know about the business. We learn. Eventually, we get better at it. We overcome our shyness to appear in front of a camera and talk to people. It doesn't happen the first day for everyone, but then eventually it happens.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I want to highlight, I have never run an online business before, right? Like, this is my first as well. So to me, this is like I'm in the same boat kind of thing. Although I was aware of certain things and everything like that. Yeah, videos were something that I was already doing. Video was never an issue for me, and it was just a skill I had developed a long time ago. But everything in the online space, whether it's my ads, leveraging YouTube, social media, all of that stuff, I had to learn everything. And I learned it inside of this community right here.
Yeah. Brother Mino, what do you think? I mean, in this business, I mean, when Raza mentioned about, we learn everything, there's about a large chunk of the business is already done. It's there. We need to put our effort. The fun part, as Raza called it. So as the way I see it, there's two sides to it. One is the system side of it, and the other one is the marketing side of it, right? For example, if you look at the system side of it, setting up all the back-end software systems, platform processes, running the webinars and the email marketing system, everything is already done. We don't have to figure out ourselves and try to buy software and things like that. And on the other side, we are taught, we can learn about social media marketing and advertising and different platforms and things like that. There's a mentoring and coaching structure, a dedicated website where we can learn a lot of stuff ourselves. Easy to follow video instructions. If you get stuck, you can still reach out to your mentor or coach or the extended community to get the support. Brother Minul, what's your view on that?
Yeah, I mean, I just like to elaborate a bit more. I think Brother has covered most of the things. It is very important. I mean, in the online space, you would find that they're often a guru, and they have got few people. And once you join their program, especially in social media marketing, you'll see that they have to do, once you join this program, and then they'll say get on with it, and you have to do a lot of things. Okay? That's and another system is that they don't have a community, and usually what would be their weekly session, people just have talk, and that's it. And in the 30 minutes, sometimes they're busy and things like that, give some tips, and then you apply that. You have to build your website, sales funnel, everything. I mean, how email automation works, in MailChimp, things like that. So in this particular business model, that's not what we have to do. We don't have to bother about all those automation. Another thing is that scaling, because obviously, as this community has grown now, nearly 100K people. I mean, it's a massive platform now, and maintaining it in a smooth way. The way you can request for any update to your website, how the training site is updated, I think I find it really, really awesome, and that's what I think makes this particular business model stand out, and especially due to the community, because your mentor and coach might be busy, but you can reach out to various internal channels and discuss and brainstorm and get your problem solved instantly. So that's what would be my next question to Brother Aziz as well, that now you're working also with people from different parts of the world. People are coming from various backgrounds. So please make some comments about this community.
It's amazing that you mentioned that point. It's such a blessing to have a community that is working alongside with me. And that's the thing, a lot of times when you start a business, you're just by yourself, you're trying to figure things out and doing everything. I lead a very busy life, and my team is plugged in to the immediate circle of people that they can get help for. They don't have to wait for me. Of course, if I see their question or whatever their challenges are, I get to it. But if I'm driving or busy with family, recently my grandma passed away, so I was busy with that stuff and with family, and my team was looked after. And I think that's one of the biggest pieces that I think that was something that I learned to leverage over time, because I felt like I needed to have all the answers. But that's not what it is. I just wanted to make sure that the people that I'm working with, that they are plugged in to the right resources so that they can get the help. So I become kind of a liaison between them, making sure that the right information is aligned for them, and they have access to the information almost like 24/7.
Absolutely. This is a business without any borders, right? I mean, of course, it doesn't mean that you have to stay awake 24 hours of the day, to run the business. You get on with your normal life. You go to work. If you are someone who's doing a job, you go to work and get some sleep, but still the business works on the side, in the background, even if you are fast asleep. Let's face it. I think most of us, when we see these kind of opportunities on the internet, needless to say, we are very skeptical. I mean, I've been there. Brother Minor has been there. I'm sure you have been there as well. Is this a real opportunity, or are these guys trying to, kind of scam us? And are they going to run away with my money and things like that? So it's so important that we kind of do our own research and find out whether the legitimacy of the business, whether the people are real and things like that. How did you overcome that obstacle?
Oh, sorry, that question's for me.
Yes.
So I'll tell you a quick little short story on that one. So when I was doing my research, I wasn't really looking for an online business model. I was actually looking to buy businesses, existing businesses. So I was, as I mentioned, I was looking at an accounting firm, a car wash, and a laundromat. Now, it was not something that I had done before, so I was doing my research. And how do I own a business that operates by itself? So as I looked at the accounting firm, it was going to cost me about $1.5 million. I didn't have that money. I would have to go to the bank for that kind of money. But I remember sending a message to the accounting firm that I wanted to see their books. I wanted to evaluate whether or not this business is for me, how many clients do they have, and so on and so forth. Well, their agent sent me an email, a letter, saying that I need to deposit $50,000 into their trust account so that they could open up their books and I can do my due diligence. Okay. So when I looked at that, I'm like, oh boy, $50,000. And all of a sudden, when that kind of money was involved, I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, is this even real? Is this agent real? You know, what do you mean I'm going to have to deposit the money? They said, oh, you're going to get the money back if this company is not for you and all of that stuff. This is just to show that you are serious. Okay, so that's the kind of evaluation of businesses I was doing. So as soon as I got introduced to this whole online model, and I saw an ad on YouTube, and that led me to a webinar. And at the end of the webinar, there was no $50,000 offer there, you know, for me to pull a trigger on. So when I looked at that, and when there was a 30-day money back guarantee, you know, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, you know what, I can do this part, right? Like, this is fine compared to $50,000. So yes, we all have to be careful online. There are tons of things that are going on. But one of the things that I always say to people, and even the people that I coach that are looking at this business model, I always tell them is like, what are the top 3 or 4 things that are important to you? And then evaluate this business model through that. And no need for urgency here. You know, I never put a gun on people and say, hey, you know, you have to make a decision now kind of thing. No, it's not about that. It's about making sure you do your due diligence. A couple of things that you're going to find out as you go to evaluate this business is nobody is breathing down your throat. You know, nobody's breathing down your neck and saying that, okay, are you done? Did you check this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? No, you have a system that you go through. And when you are ready, if you are ready, you schedule a strategy coaching call with one of the coaches in the community to see how you can best get started. And if it is not for you, you know, request a refund and you are gone, right? Like, I mean, that's what the transparency is. That's what we don't want to work with people. We don't want to force people into working with us. It's not for everybody. And it requires a certain kind of person to be able to do this business, somebody who has an open mind, somebody who's coachable, and somebody who has a vision of a better future than they currently have.
Yeah, so someone basically needs to convince themselves first, and through whatever things that they have associated themselves, they just need to be able to be confident about, hey, these are the things, 5, as you mentioned, 5 or 6 things I'm looking for. This is prevalent. It looks like, you know, this is the opportunity. And then you start talking to us. It doesn't matter whether people contact brother you or mine or myself. I mean, we are open to work with anyone who has that interest, who really wants that. And you made a really good point. We just don't go follow up behind people like crazy, because we are in a long-term business. Most of us want to retire early and then do this business for the rest of our lives, and when the time comes, pass it on to our kids. So this is not a short-term business. If it was a short-term business, yes, we will, you know, follow up with people and, you know, do whatever we can do to, you know, get business. But it is not, we are not doing it because it's a long-term business. We are not promising people, you know, they will buy a yacht or a jet within 6 months or 7 months. We don't promise all that. It is a real business. I want to highlight the fact that when people, for those people who are watching it, I mean, you find our websites on this ticker. So Brother Mainul's using his name, I'm using my name and my wife's name and my surname, and Brother Raza is using his name and his surname. So we are representing our businesses in our personal capacity because we 100% back it. and it is legitimate, and we are there for everyone to see on social media. So I mean, it's quite easy for people to drop us a line, send us a message, pick up the phone, call us, WhatsApp, whatever, get in touch with us and talk to us, and then get more information. I mean, it's simple as that. You don't have to worry yourself, trying to contact us. First, contact us, talk to us, and we'd be happy to guide you. Brother Mainul, I think we are also reaching the 30-minute mark. Probably I would hand over to you for your next comments and probably close the meeting if we can do so.
Yes, just a bit from my side in this direction. And this says that he needed $50,000 just to check it out. Here, the webinar is free. It's free value. Okay, and there is a lot of effort is being put together to hold these webinars. Actually, it's a huge effort, and we are just giving a free value. And this business is not about. I don't think it's just about making money. It's about providing value. It is about empowering everyday people who are just as I say that who working hard and want better for their family, but they want something extra in their life and they don't have the experience and the knowledge. They are brought into this, and all the tools has been designed thinking about this, because the people who actually founded this business, they do have actually significant business experience, and they know all the bits and pieces that's needed. And after watching the webinar, $149, I think, I mean, living in everyday life, you would probably spend that for many reasons, for various things, and even to guarantee the money. I said my thoughts in that direction, that even if somebody, let's say 149, you have some doubt in your mind, then you can always contact your bank, and usually banks brings those money. So $149 is never going to lose. And if you are just thinking about $149, then this business is not for you, because every business has some upfront cost. Okay, and we are taking this money just to show that you are serious, and we give those people at the end of the day, if they do join, that $149 gives them all the training for their lifetime, all the sales and marketing tools, lifetime mentoring and coaching, and it's a digital product service. So that's a legit thing that we are giving you that service, and we are charging you $149. And I know many platforms actually just for Facebook marketing, they'll charge more than often $1,500. I'm aware of some of those platforms. So I think this is probably the least and minimum actually where we are charging, just because we work in a community and we share all the tools. We don't need to pay ClickFunnels, we don't need to pay the webinar software, we don't need to pay MailChimp and things like that. It's a community service, and it's being shared there, so it's so cheap. I think the last question to Brother Raza would be that please mention some of the personal development that we have in this business.
Some of the personal development.
Yes, because we create leaders in this business community. We just don't create entrepreneurs who are business leaders, and they are meant to lead at a certain point. So, and how we are doing that in this direction, please make some comments in that regard.
I think it's such a beautiful thing. Like, there's a huge element of personal development. Your success in the online business model is going to depend on how much you focus on developing yourself. There's a path over here to follow. One of the things over the past, I would say about 8 to 10 years, I have not stepped into any career or any move, haven't made any professional move unless I have a mentor. And you have access to mentors and coaches over here. I would say really unlimited access. There's nothing that you need to, how do you say this, try to figure out on your own. The model is there, and you just got to walk the path and do the activity. A big element of you becoming, let's just say, I'll give you an example. You becoming a coach in this community is not something that is required of you right off the bat. Your coach will work with you until you become a coach to others. And that path in itself is just so fulfilling because you have an opportunity to give back. You have the opportunity to help others as well, if that is something that pulls on your heartstrings, because that is an opportunity in here as well. Focus on as Manuel mentioned, on leadership. It's about leading, because you got to look at it this way. If you are here, if you're looking at this business, you are a leader for your family. You are a leader for your environment, whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're looking at this thing, and that's the path that you want to take, and the path is already laid out over here for you to ultimately become accountable and take the initiative to make it happen.
Brother, I mean, any final sentences? Then I'll close the show for today. I think.
No, I think Brother Raza kind of pretty much captured everything. That and thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here, and I know precious time. Thank you for generously donating your time for us, Brother Raza. We really appreciate.
You're welcome. Thank you
here.
so much for having me here,
Brother Manuel.
So thank you, Brother Amin and Brother Raza, for your valuable time. I really appreciate it. Viewers, thank you for watching. So before I sign off, I'd just like to say that if you really want something extra in your life, we are everyday people. If you want to have a side hustle at self-paced, that's portable, that's pandemic-free, where all the support system is given, then probably this is something that might interest you. And the very first thing that you need to do in this video is to watch our free webinar. There are 3 links given there. You can go either of these. Just register with your name and email. The webinar takes place at 5 p.m. PST on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week, which is 12 p.m. AEST on Wednesdays and Fridays. And after registering, we'll send you the link for the webinar. Watch it, do your due diligence, and then if you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us back. So that is it from our side today. And Brother Raza and Amin, have a good day. And Brother Raza, obviously, I wish you all the best with your endeavors. And Brother Amin, obviously, we're going to see you next week again. So, and viewers, have a good day. Goodbye.
Okay. See you guys. Assalamu alaikum.
Ciao.